Welcome to Squamish, BC. Honestly, it's one of my favorite places on earth. You got the mountains, you got the ocean, you've got everything, and just a little bit out of town, you're completely immersed in the nature. But before we start talking about the trails, let's talk about what bikes we were riding. This is the 2018 Giant Trance 1 GE. It is 27.5-inch tires, 150mm front fork, 140mm rear shock, and overall I did like riding this bike. I had a few issues with it, but nothing crucial. It was a pretty good bike. If you want to see any specs, there will be a link in the description, but that's enough about bikes. Let's talk about where we rode. So to the left of the screen there, you can see a part of Squamish called Garibaldi Estates, and just out of town to the right here, you can see the trails we rode. So you're going to want to come up to the secondary parking lot and then ride up this Ring Creek access road. So of course, like all great mountain bike trails, we had to climb and climb and climb to get to the top, but you have to get used to that to do mountain riding. But as it turns out, it wasn't a bit of climbing, it was more like an hour of climbing. Then naturally we gave up and started pushing. But then finally, we did eventually make it to the top of Half Nelson, and not surprisingly, it was one of the best trails I've ever ridden.
Let's go.
Half Nelson is one of the best trails I rode that whole day. It's actually Squamish's first government-funded bike trail, which is really cool, and overall I really liked Half Nelson. The only problem that I have with Half Nelson is that you're having so much fun and going so fast, it's over before you know it. Then we found a trail called Recycle coming off of Half Nelson and decided to do that, because then we could just come back up to the top of Half Nelson and ride it again.
I think we should go on Recycle.
Unlike the Half Nelson, Recycle is a much more slowed down and technical trail. We traveled a lot less of a distance on Recycle, and it took us a lot longer than it did on the Half Nelson, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. To us, it was more of a good thing because we really dislike climbing, but we're lazy Albertans, so what do we know? This actually ended up being my dad's favorite trail we rode that day.
I can't talk right now. What's this? Oh, I see how this. So, I'm trying that.
No.
Yes, I am. Yeah. Come on, let me try. I won't die. Black Diamond. Up at the trail there. Bet. I might not do it, so. Oop. Yeah, I'm off fine. What? Yeah. I saw it drop, so I hit it with some speed, but a little bit too much. Other than that. Oh, we missed it? We are experts.
Then after Recycle, we climbed all the way back up and went down all of the Half Nelson. Then we decided to try something called the climbing trail, which is where that skinny is that I'm riding right now. Although that skinny is pretty cool, there's only one on the whole trail, and I don't recommend it because it's switchback after switchback right in the open sun. But it's pretty much faster to go on the open service road, although may not be as fun. Then we went on a trail called the Full Nelson, and the only thing that beats the Half Nelson, of course, is the Full Nelson. It was by far my favorite trail of the day, and it's quite possible that it's my favorite trail of all time. But just watch some of this. It was a lot more flowy. I went really fast on it. There's a lot of bigger sized jumps, but overall it's a really cool trail. Cool fact about Full Nelson was that it was constructed in conjunction with Anthill Films and Red Bull, with plenty of input from Brandon Seminook. And if you don't know who he is, he's one of Canada's best freeride mountain bikers. I'm reading this right off of Trailfork's website, so if you want to read a little bit more, there will be a link in the description. We decided to climb the mountain once more, but then about halfway we got really low on water and we ended up completely running out of water. So we decided to get down as fast as we could so we didn't get dehydrated. And the closest trail there was Low Down, which is a blue trail. It was overall a pretty good trail, but it was in such crappy conditions when we were there that it was actually a really crappy trail. It was really loose and dusty and kind of gravelly, making it really hard to control your speed and just feel comfortable on the trail. But it was the closest trail, so I mean, what the heck.
Pretty technical, Dad. And steep and drops.
The real trail we were aiming to get to was called Sudha Sugah, which everyone recommended to us. I read a little bit about it on Trailforks, and it's really flowy. It goes past a waterfall, which would have been awesome, and I'm really mad we didn't go on it. But since we ran out of water, we decided to go down this trail to get down faster.
Why? You good?
Then, because of the poor conditions, my dad did wipe out. He stuck his foot out because he was sliding, and he hurt his ankle on the side of the trail, which was pretty much because of the bad conditions. So we decided to hop onto the really loose, gravelly lowdown and hop onto the climb trail and go down that, even though you're not supposed to ride down it. I mean, he was kind of hurt, so we decided to do that.
Are you good?
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It took way too long to bring out this video, but I worked a lot on it, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.